Hey my creatives, it's your girl Tina and welcome back to the channel for another creative video share. I'm here you all to show you a Valentine's tag flip that I did for a swap with my girl Susie, who's here on the YT. I'm so excited about how this recipe tag flip turned out. Can somebody tell him thank you? You all, let's go ahead on and dive into this video. So this is my tag swap, and I pulled out some precious papers from my vault that I've had for quite some time now. Really nice papers, have a vintage feel to them. And so I'm going to show you the little remnants. I've been cutting little pieces off. This is Homemade with Love by Cartabella. Love these. I had 2 other rolls of it. And yeah, I've been cutting off of it sparingly. Love this faded, washed out, very worn pink stripes in the back. Really love that. And then this is another one, a sheet from Cartabella, this same collection, Made with Love, and it was just a collage sheet. Okay, and so I pulled that out. Love this in the back as well. So these were the 2 main sheets that I did use going forth into this tag flip. I also used this is a very old, and I'm trying to see what is the year. This is a Campbell's recipe book. And this recipe book, I really love it. This is from 2000. It was published in 2000, right? And so they have all of these vintage images in there. I love the recipes as well. But I love what drew me to this book was the images. I just love some of the vintage images. The food images are really nice, as well as the little Campbell's vintage images. I want to show you some. Here's one that I cut out. Here's another. This is like one of my favorite recipe books to create out of. Use little snippets, little bits and pieces. I love him. He is so adorable. And look at him with the little tomato basket. Too adorable. So I've had this for quite a while, and I just like, when I do recipe creations, I like to come in and clip out and actually do use look at them. Oh my gosh, so adorable. Oh my goodness, so adorable. So as you can see, I've cut out, but I'm saving these recipes for another project down the road, right? So this is a Campbell's classic recipe book. Very old, you can see. Look, I mean, it's really old. All right, so let's dive into the flip. This is the flip that I used a die that was gifted to me by Scrap Diva 29. I won a drawing of hers, and this was my prize gift. This was a 6 tag set, because you got 3 right here, and then here's the 3 small ones, and then they had the little hole enforcers that goes with this set as well. So you can cut out the hole enforcers to go with it. Now this was a tag set that was created to go into a binder. So it has a 3 holes. Right. So I use this one right here, the second largest. And those, the other 5 do not have the 3-hole loop. It's just the largest one. So I use the second largest for these tags. And what I liked about it was that this is a stitched tag set. So you not only get the you not only get the hole already punched out, but it also has stitch marks around the hole, and then stitch marks all the way around the edge of the tag. So that's what I use to create this tag flip. All right, let's start off with the front. This is my cover, and what I did was I have some forks, spoons, and knives in my stash that I use. They come in like a cardboard grayish kind of look. What I did was I took some tea-dye distress stain, and I stained it, and then I let it dry, and I love the way that it turned out. And then I simply took them, I took my crocodile, I punched a hole at the top of each one of them, and then I looped it onto the ring. I went in with some hot glue and glued them in place. So these does not move because they're glued. And then I wrapped this nice little lace around it. I love the way that came out. All right. So for our cover page, just put this over here. For our cover page, this is a cutout from one of those pieces that I showed you all a few minutes ago. All I did is simply lined it up because it was a collage sheet, and I just cut this out, and I felt it didn't need anything else. I absolutely love it just the way that it is. Okay. Now let me just say to you all, this is a 10-page flip from front to back. All right, there's nothing on the back. I did go in with each one of my pages, and I actually inked the edges with tea stain distress ink. All right, so tea stain distress ink is all through this flip. All right, this is page number 1, and again I took a cutout from my Campbell's cookbook, and then I took one of the recipe photos, adhered it to the card, and just laid some lace trim at the bottom. Then I incorporated, I used my little heart punch. Had this thing since I first started scrapbooking. Wow, over 20 years ago. And I just used that. I took a piece of paper that I had in a 6x6 paper pad. Actually, it's a recollections pad. And I punched the hearts out, and I inked it up with the tea-dye distress ink. Okay. Love the way that came out. On the back here, I simply took some basic gray paper that I had, and these are just nothing but remnants that was in my vault. Loved this paper collection. I think I want to show y'all that too. I try not to show a lot of stuff because a lot of stuff that I use is, you know, it's old and it's been out. But this collection right here was basic gray craft paper pack, and it had nothing but a bunch of papers. Let me take this out so you won't see the shadow. It had nothing but a bunch of papers that you could write on. And I just love this. I tell you, when I found this, I mean, oh my goodness. They had it in this brown, and then they had it in a cream background, the same prints. And that cream I used up first, and this is the end of the brown. So it is resting in my vault, you all, because I love that collection. If they ever was to do that again and I saw it, I would get several packs of that. Okay, let's get back to the tag. So I took this pieces and remnants and inked the edges. I have a sheet in my vault of nothing but season labels. All right, and so I chose to use that on this project. I cut it out. They're just strips during the whole 12 by 12 sheet of just different. Here goes some that I had cut out. See, that's part of the strip. So just different spices, different seasonings on this whole entire sheet. So I will use a remnant. I've been using that sparingly as well because it's another one of my absolute favorites. All right. So I just attached that with my tiny attacher. Love that one. All right. This next sheet is also remnants from my vault. This is a sheet with green and red apples everywhere. This is from another collection that I have. If you all remember, I did a video where I took a 12 by 12 sheet of cutouts and I made ATC cards with them, right? This was one of those cutouts on that sheet. I'm working on my last sheet now, and so I'm going sparingly. But I thought she would be fitting. I thought Susie would like her on her recipe tag flip. So yeah, that one came out gorgeous. All right, let's move to the back. Now what I did back here, you all, now I'm incorporating recipes, right? So I took this recipe out of another one of my cookbooks that I've had for a long time. This is a Philadelphia cream cheese cookbook. And let me see when it was when it came out. This one came out in 2001. All right. This one came out in 2001. As you can see, oh my goodness, a lot of photos and graphics. Love, love, love. Look at the rolling pin. Okay. Oh, look at the berries and the jam. And then these photos in this cookbook are just absolutely gorgeous. I love cheesecake. All right, chicken and cream sauce. Then you got the pen, the paper, the envelope. They're about to send off a recipe. And so I've used some of these recipes. Look at the recipe, vintage recipe box. I love this cookbook. So this is the Philadelphia cream cheese cookbook. All right. And so this recipe right here comes from there. Now, because the recipe was a little longer than the tag, what I did was this comes out, right? And then you're able to open up the recipe. So what I did was I took my my little ruler and I tore the edges all around. I inked them up. And then when I put the adhesive, I put adhesive starting here, up, around, and right there. And then I put just a little bit right here, leaving an opening so that I could put this paper clip in there to close this recipe. All right. So what I did, I took this paper clip and I just clipped off some of this lace and twined it up in there and pulled it, right? So it can have a few little ears that you could pull on to pull it out of the hole. And I really, really love that. And then again, we have two more hearts inked around the edges everywhere with distress tea dye. Okay. All right, here we go. So our next page is actually a glassine bag, right? I took a regular glassine bag and I that cut it with the tag, and I'm using that as the page itself. On this page, it's just a fun page, a filler page. I love the feel of glassine. So I took a piece of wide lace trim that I had, and I attached it with my tiny attacher. I took another one of those photos out of my Philadelphia cream cheese recipe book. I adhered it. Here is a apron that I had in my stash. And here's one of those recipe books from out of one of the books that I showed you all. I just cut it out. And it adds so much interest. I really love it. All right, and then we have two hearts with the X's tiny attached on there. Love the way that this turned out. All right, here's the back, another page. On this one, this is meant for you to write a recipe, or perhaps you want to make notes. So all I did was took another remnant piece of that, the little writing paper, and I put a piece of that 12 by 12 sheet. I cut out the love, cut it down with my Pekin shears, and attached it with my tiny attacher. Love the way that this one came out. I love the feel and the noise, the sound of glassine. All right, this little page right here, this was a piece of paper from a paper pad that you journal with. I cannot think of the name of it. I have only a few sheets of it left. It is in my vault, but this is very thick and very sturdy, right? I did use the tea-dye distress ink all over it. I used that wide trim, and let me show you that trim, you all. I've been pinching and pinching and pinching off of this trim, and now we almost down to the end. I think I might have used, I think I did use it all. I thought I had just a tiny, tiny bit left, but it's all gone. But it was very, very wide, and it's very a thick type lace trim. So I used that to bag this. This is another one of those little pieces off that 12 by 12 sheet that had the different words. These were meant to be like word cards, right? I cut it down. And then here's another piece from out of the cookbook. So vintage and cute. I love that mint green basket. Up here, I took some remnants of this paper right here from when I cut it around. And I just tore it, inked it up, and adhered it. And put the heart there. Very, very nice. All right, here's the back. We added cherries in the snow recipe. This is again out of the Philadelphia cream cheese recipe book. Very simple, right? We didn't agree to how many recipes we were going to share. We just did a Valentine's. So this is a Valentine's themed recipe flip. That's why you see the hearts all the way through, right? And so here is another one, another cutout from a collage page out of that collection. The whole page is gone now, except one little piece, you all. I only had 2 pieces left of this, and I just loved it. I did not want to really do anything to this. All I did was ink the edges, and that's it. I love this image. Beautifully done. I just love it. I put one of those season tabs, tickets here with a heart. And I love it. I took some of this trim and just put it in the back, right? This is not glued down or anything. So this could be a tuck spot if she wanted to put something in there. Okay. Now, let's go to the back of this one. On the back of this particular tag, I just left it blank, right? all you can do, you could put a photo here, you could write something, she could put that there. Here's another one of those little recipe books from out of the cookbook, and then I just attached 2 hearts with some hot glue. Love the way that that came out. Again, this is one of those glassine bags. Love the sound of that. All right, here we go, you all. This is another cutout that I had in my stash from Authentique, I believe, paper. I need to stop saying that's irritating. Okay, get your mind together, Tina. Get your mind together. You all, I laugh at myself. Okay. I took that tea-dye stain, tea-dye distress ink, and inked the edges. This is another little cut apart that I had in my stash. And I just attached. First, I laid down some of this blue ribbon that was gifted to me by Marilyn. She gifted me so much of that ribbon. I mean, I haven't even hit the surface of it, but I love it. And so this was the second one on there. I think I showed you all this before. Yeah, see, from Marilyn G. She gifted me this in 2014, and it had 4 different ribbons on it, right? Okay, so I just took a piece of that, laid it at the blue one underneath, put the card on top, and attached a little snippet of the scallop lace, and I attached it with my tiny attacher. This down here at the bottom, no rhyme, no reason, just a little scrap piece of one of the cutoffs that I had. I don't throw stuff like this away because it has, can you all see, it has the measurements of a recipe. So I think that that just goes really well. And then I attached the 3 hearts. All right, let's go on to our next one. This is the back. And this one is another recipe from one of the recipe books where I attached it the same way. And I adhere it with the paper clip. Love that, okay? And then I just simply put it back in. All right. And then here's another one of the same sheets that I inked up with the distress ink, and I cut out another piece of the images from that Campbell's cookbook. He is so precious, you all. I love him. And then I just attached a little snippet of that ribbon and the hearts. So she could write her own recipe, or again, some notes. She could cook one of the recipes and then hear a picture of it here. It's endless what she can do with this flip. All right, here is another page, which is the back of that. I took that basic gray craft paper, another little snippet of it. Here's some graphics from the cookbook, 2 of the hearts, and then this is from that sheet again. I cut it down, inked the edges. I use my Peking shears. So if somebody is squirming, who is a sewer, when I said I use Peking shears for this right here, this is what I'm talking about if you're not familiar with what Peking shears are. Now, Fiskars is my choice of scissors and stuff like that to cut with. I do have 2 pair of these, because one thing I learned from my grandmother growing up, who was a seamstress, do not use her Peking shears to cut paper. So I have two sets of Peking shears, one for paper and one for fabric. So don't worry, I did not mess up my Peking shears. All right, you all, this is the last page in my back cover. So this is that paper that I told you I got the different spices from. They come in strips down the whole 12 by 12 page. I just cut them up, laid them on the tag horizontally, and then put some trim in between. Here's one of those graphics from the cookbook, Campbell's cookbook, and then attach 2 hearts. I love it. You can go in and put a picture, a photo on top of this, and then just have this in the background. You can leave it like it is. You can write something underneath each spice if you would like to. Okay, so that is a functioning page. All right, and here's my back cover. Just simple and plain, and then I signed it and put my social media information and the date. All right, to top it off, you all, I just put tulle and lace all through the what is this called? The little I'm lost for words today. I put lace all the way through the hoop. It's not called a hoop. The ring. The ring. Okay? And this is what it looks like. Now let me show you all how it looks hanging. See how it added a little interest? So you can see the lace paper clips hanging. Then you can also see the little note, the food notes that I had hanging. I did that on purpose so it'll have a little, little shag at the bottom. Here's another piece of the little notes that I hanged over so that it can hang low. And then on the side, we have a few things hanging out. I really, really love the way that this turned out. So this is my little share I wanted to share with you all to show my little recipe tag flip. I hope my swap partner really like it. Stay tuned to the swap that she sent me. It'll be coming up in the near future. Till next time, you all wash those hands every 15 minutes. Hot water and soap. Stay blessed and keep creating, family. Till we meet again, I'll see you on the next video.